Now there's two algorithms you're going to need for this next part. Now if you're a noob like I was for the longest time, I just used one, and then if your piece was in the wrong spot, you just use it twice or 3 times. Okay, see here, I have the green blue. The green blue's right here. You want to start it underneath. Your algorithm for this, to get this into this spot, is down, left, inverse down, inverse left, inverse down, inverse front, down, front. And there you go, your corner's in that spot. So if you continue to do that, just the one algorithm, you can still get it. Like see here, there's an algorithm to get this here, but if you want, you can just do this algorithm 3 times, puts it in there backwards, the next time put something else in, then you gotta get it back into place, do the algorithm again, and it'll be right in that spot. Okay, the algorithm, the backwards one. This one I just learned today actually, because I decided I'd be a little less of a noob myself, but see if I can get it. It's, okay, inverse down, inverse front, down, front, down, inverse left, I'm sorry, that's just left, inverse down, inverse left, and you got it in the right spot. So I'm just going to do that right here for my last side, and there you go. You got your first layer and your second layer done. Now if you want to go back through this video and look at the notation. R means right, R with an apostrophe is right inverse, inverse meaning counterclockwise, and not with the apostrophe meaning clockwise. Really not that hard to find out. Okay. The way I learned how to do this layer. I've heard there's easier ways. I don't care. I learned just a few things for this. One of them is front, up, right, inverse front, or sorry, inverse up, inverse right, inverse front. Now see, what you want is either a line like this, or you want a corner like here that's white. Once you have this, you'll know what to do. If you have a line like I have here, you go front, right, up, inverse right, inverse up, inverse front, and you have your cross. And that's what you want. Let's say let me see if I can get this situation for you. Okay, there we go. So you got the L right here in white. This one you want to use the one I used earlier. It's front, up, right, inverse up, inverse right, inverse front. Okay, and this is another thing. The way I learned this one, if you have this pattern, a square and then your 2 edges, depending on where their piece is. If the piece is facing up when the square is in the bottom left corner, then you want to use this algorithm. You want to use right, up, inverse right, up, right, up, inverse right. And your full side there will be complete. Alright, I had to splice this in. I'm kind of stupid. I forgot to tell you about this thing. The way I do this, you run across different things sometimes like this, which isn't your square with your 2 sides solved. So basically the way I do this is I'll just do one of those 2 that I showed you where you have a square and then the 2 edges. If you just continue to do that, sometimes it's really bad and it takes a long time, but you should get it eventually. Just kind of keep flipping it around. The one thing I noticed, don't know if it's anything in particular, but if you have just a plain cross like this, and you have an edges that are opposite each other, these ones are actually all kind of like that, but see this one's white here and white here. If you do the one that starts with the inverse right, inverse up, right, inverse up, inverse right, up 2, and right. Oh, that normally gets it, so I guess I suck at life. But long story short, eventually, no matter what, you will get one of those. There you go. There's one of them right there. And then you can just continue through to whatever else you're doing there. Alright, now let's see if I can get this other one for you now. Okay, here we go. Now the other one is just the opposite of that. Notice the squares in the upper left corner, and your two edges are here, and this white one's facing up. When you do this one, you do the opposite of the one I just showed you. So it's inverse right, inverse up, right, inverse up, inverse right, up, up, right. And that's your whole top side there. Okay, for the next part, you can do it many ways. The way I like to do it is just, I pick a way where I have normally one edge and one corner solved in the whole entire thing. This makes it a little bit easier. So, I haven't even bothered to learn the other algorithms. There's two of them that I've learned. One is to rotate 3 edges, particularly these 3, and the other is to rotate corners, these 3. The edges one, I don't even remember if it's counterclockwise or clockwise rotation, but it's right 2, up, front, inverse back, right 2, inverse front, back, up, and then right 2. And if that didn't get your edges in place, then you just have to do it one more time. Like so. See, now notice all my edges are right. See, since I have this corner, I want to keep this in my bottom left for this next algorithm. Okay, this one for the corners is right 2, back 2, right, front, inverse right, back 2, right, inverse front, right. See, it didn't fix it, so I just gotta do it one more time. And there you go. Now, I'm not the fastest, and I don't plan to be, but just being able to get it done is very satisfying after you have it sitting on your desk for who knows how long, and you just can't do it. So, there you go. Practice it up, and good luck. Look for my video on how to solve the wonderful 4x4 of death. Yay.